When a defendant faces criminal prosecution, due process guarantees certain procedural protections, including the standard of proof. The government must prove the alleged offense beyond a reasonable doubt. McMillan v. Pennsylvania considers whether that burden of proof also applies to sentencing considerations. Pennsylvania passed a mandatory minimum law that applied to certain offenses, including aggravated assault, robbery, and kidnapping. At sentencing, if the judge found by a preponderance of the evidence that the defendant visibly possessed a firearm while committing the offense, the judge had to impose a minimum of 5 years. The 5-year minimum didn't exceed the maximum prescribed for the enumerated offenses. Each carried a maximum sentence of 10 or 20 years. The law also stated that visible possession of a firearm wasn't an element of any offense. Dynell McMillan used a gun while committing aggravated assault, an offense listed in the statute. He was convicted. At his sentencing, the prosecution sought to apply the mandatory minimum law. McMillan protested that the statute was unconstitutional because due process required proving visible possession of a firearm beyond a reasonable doubt. The trial judge agreed and imposed a sentence under 5 years. The Commonwealth appealed to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which held that the mandatory minimum law was constitutional. The Supreme Court granted cert.